Hey, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about how to use a base resume. And it's a pretty important concept. I'm going to show you how to deal with it in Teal, but you could do this in Google Docs or you can do it in Microsoft Word. And I think it goes a long way in expediting or making your job search more efficient. The idea comes from having a base resume that's got everything you've ever done and just erasing or removing the things that are not relevant for a particular job. So let me show you what I mean by that. Here we're in Teal and we've got all the various versions of our resume. We're going to make a new resume. And what's going to happen when we make a new resume is you're going to see it's populated with a whole bunch of stuff. It's got more things on there than I need. It's got all my contact information. It's got all the various target titles. It's got various versions of my professional summary. But where you really start to see it come into play is in your work experience. Right? And so this job as a senior marketing coordinator, you would never have all this content on a resume. It's too much. But where I see a lot of people struggle is sort of sitting at the intersection of what I call creation and curation. And so people are trying to come up with these perfect singular achievements that cover as many jobs as you would apply to as possible. And for a couple reasons, I think that's not great. One, I think it's destructive to our confidence that we're needing to strip away our achievements and not be able to document and write down the things we're proud of. And then two, you end up cutting those things and you don't show the right amount of you to the right company. So this is where the idea of a base resume is really, really powerful. Again, I'm showing it to you in Teal. You could do this anywhere, but it's having an exhaustive list of everything you've ever accomplished. And here, put everything. You want this to be long and exhaustive. And if you do it in Google Docs or Microsoft Word, do it in your resume template. That way it's really easy to just delete the things that you don't need and you can quickly do a save as and make versions. But you have this record of all the things that you've accomplished. And ideally you maintain it after you land the job. But a base resume comes really in handy. Now let me show you how with Teal, that's kind of inherent in how we've built our resume. So all of these are achievements that where Tina Miller right now, who's a marketing leader, has done. And for any particular job, these can just be turned on and turned off. And see how they change here? Let's go ahead and turn them all off. Then we'll turn this job back on and say, for this particular job, I want to just highlight this. Or this version of my resume is for senior marketing manager. And I'll use just these 3 bullets. We recommend 3 to 5 on your first job that the person reading would see. But now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this resume. And in this particular case, I'll call it, instead of senior marketing manager, let's go ahead and social media manager. All right, so for that one, I might not need these 3. I might use these 3 instead. Now, I don't lose that information, right? It's all still there, and I'm just saving these different views of who I am. Now, also what you could do with Teal is you could reorder it. For this particular job, I want that at the top, or I want this here, or maybe this one at the top. You can reorder it. You can also start to make changes on what information should be in where. Again, this is happening on a per resume basis. For this job, I want my work experience at the top and I'm going to put the skills over here. But by having this base resume, you can now present views of you. I like to say the 10% of you that's 100% relevant to them. And you can use tools to help you match, things like Job Scanner are great. We've got some things built in. But this idea of a base resume, and it might take a little longer to build at first, but as you apply to more jobs and as you add more content to your base resume, it'll get faster and faster to apply to jobs, and you'll be able to very quickly present a tailored version of who you are. If you have any questions or comments on the idea of a base resume and ways that you've used it, would love to hear in the comments down below. All right, thanks and good luck with your job search.